let's take a trip back to the golden age of side-scrolling beat-em-ups, where two brothers with fists of fury became legends. That's right, we're talking about Double Dragon for the NES, a game that punched its way into the hearts of gamers everywhere. Whether you were breaking faces or dodging barrels, this classic was a defining moment in gaming history. And if you've never experienced it, you're in for a treat because today we're diving deep into one of the NES's most iconic games. Grab your controller and get ready to relive, or discover for the first time, why Double Dragon deserves its legendary status. A Double Dragon hit arcades in 1987, developed by Technos Japan, and it was an instant success. It had everything: two-player co-op, dynamic combat, and a gritty story about brothers Billy and Jimmy Lee fighting to save Marion, who was kidnapped by the Black Warriors gang. When the NES version dropped in 1988, it brought that arcade magic into our living rooms. Sure, the console version had to cut some features, most notably the two-player co-op, but it made up for it with unique gameplay elements and a more structured story mode. It was the perfect mix of arcade action and home console accessibility, and for many of us, it's where the Double Dragon legacy truly began. Let's start with the gameplay, which is where Double Dragon really shines. The combat system feels simple at first, but as you play, it opens up with a surprising amount of depth. You start with basic punches and kicks, but as you level up, you unlock moves like the spinning back elbow and the powerful jump kick. Each new move feels like a reward, keeping you engaged and making you feel like a true martial arts master. And let's not forget the weapons. You can grab bats, whips, and even knives to turn the tables on your enemies. It's chaotic, it's satisfying, and it never gets old. Now, let's talk about the level design. Each stage is packed with variety, from city streets to industrial factories to enemy hideouts. The environments keep you on your toes, with obstacles like conveyor belts and moving platforms adding extra layers of challenge. The difficulty is tough but fair. It's the kind of game that forces you to learn from your mistakes and improve with every run. And let's be honest, there's nothing quite like the thrill of knocking an enemy off a ledge or taking out a group of bad guys with a perfectly timed kick. The graphics, while limited by NES hardware, still hold up surprisingly well. The character sprites are detailed, the animations are smooth, and the backgrounds set the tone perfectly. And the sound effects? Iconic. From the satisfying thwack of landing a punch to the tension of the boss battle theme. Double Dragon pulls you into its world and doesn't let go. Sure, the NES version had to make sacrifices compared to the arcade, like losing the co-op mode and a bit of visual polish, but it made up for it with clever tweaks. The single-player progression system gave it a more RPG-like feel, and the challenge of mastering the game solo made every victory feel like a major accomplishment. For a game from the late 80s, it packed an impressive amount of ambition and charm. So, is Double Dragon for the NES worth revisiting today? Absolutely. It's a masterclass in how to take a successful arcade formula and make it work for home consoles. The gameplay is addictively fun, the challenge keeps you hooked, and the nostalgic charm is off the charts. Whether you're a retro gaming enthusiast or someone discovering it for the first time, Double Dragon delivers an experience that's hard to beat. Now it's your turn. Have you played Double Dragon? What's your favorite move or level? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.